Pascal. You are now rocking with that dude Pascal. We be going wild, Haitian in the building, so original. Got the haters catching feelings. Get your hands up to the ceiling and keep them held high. Cause St. Louis isn't ready. Forget about it, goodbye. Hold on, we just saying hi. Five somebody rise up weekdays. Catch us live, somebody. Let's go.
Good afternoon. Good evening and good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Pascal Show. Hope you guys are all doing well out there. Hope this show finds you in great spirits because another day above the dirt is always a blessing. Let us not forget that. Another day above the dirt is always a blessing. All right. Hopefully you guys are doing well out there. There's a lot to talk about. There's some stuff that's going on right now that just recently dropped. Hence the reason why you guys are all starting to pile into the show and talk about this. This is very, very interesting stuff nonetheless. Okay. Very, very interesting stuff. Excuse me. Nonetheless. And it's about to get crazy. Things have gotten wild. And it continues to get messy. Absolutely insane stuff. We got a lot to talk about. So please do me a favor. Hit that like button down below. Crush it, please, and thank you. Make it do what it do. All right. Do not forget. Hit that reaction button if you're watching on other platforms. If you are watching on those other platforms, like Facebook, X/Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Rumble, please show some love and hit that follow button over there. Don't forget to crush that subscribe button here on my main channel here. Go to my secondary channel, The Pascal Show Clips. Crush that subscribe button over there as well. That'd be greatly appreciated. Please and thank you. And if you want to support the channel even further, go hit that join button down below underneath me right here. Go check that out. Also, go to Patreon. Check out my Patreon. Check out my locals if you want to support even further. And, of course, go check out PascalMerch.com. We got some really great merch, really great clothing over there as well. Go check it out. I promise you, you'll find some you'll love over there as well. Okay, guys. We're not on for a very, very long time, all right? But we are here for an informative time. And there has been some new developments that have been popping off over the last few hours. And this is very interesting to me, okay? And it's very interesting because there's new things that are being presented in paperwork in a new letter that was sent to the judge that is allegedly making the decision whether or not to let this Jane Doe lawsuit go further or to dismiss it. What's being said in this new letter is very interesting and very revealing and very thought-provoking. And I'm going to explain why in just a little bit. But first, we got to take a look at this. Here's the title. Tony Buzbee is basically accusing Jay-Z of things that we've already known, guys. Let's be real. He's already been saying this stuff for a minute now. He's already been saying, hey, he's intimidating, he's harassing, he's bullying. We can't use that word that much, okay? But he's intimidating, harassing, making it a hard time for people. That's what he's alleging Jay-Z of doing. So this has been very, very interesting. Now, we've already known about these intimidations and this harassments and all that. He says it's not only just Tony, it's not only himself, Tony Buzbee. He's saying it's his clients, like other clients are getting harassed. It's his people that work for him in his law firm. His colleagues are also getting harassed as well. It has been absolutely insane. And we're also understanding that allegedly through Roc Nation, Roc Nation is Jay-Z's baby, that this particular company is hiring private eyes to go and not only go and harass content creators, but also going over to former clients of Tony Buzbee, seeing if they're willing to sue Tony Buzbee for a couple $1,000, for about $10,000, which is also very interesting and very illegal. Let me say this again. These are all allegations that were made by Tony Buzbee. It's been very interesting. And this all started off because of this Jane Doe that eventually exposed Jay-Z's name as one of the people that allegedly viciously attacked her at a VMA's after party in the year 2000. It wasn't only just Diddy that put his hands on her. She alleges that Jay-Z did this to her and that there was a female celebrity that's named Celebrity B that was standing there in audience watching this crime take place. We still don't know who Celebrity B is. Now, I know that there are theories out here. People have been saying quite a bit. People have been putting their 2 cents going, oh, it's such and such. No, it's such and such. Could it be such and such? Well, I'm going to say this. We don't know who it is yet. Yes, there's theories, and the theories are going to fly like crazy, of course, but we still do not know who that person is. It has not been confirmed at all. No one knows who Celebrity B, female Celebrity B, is in this particular lawsuit still to this day. And no, I do not believe that Alex Spiro made a mistake and misspoke. No, I think he used one particular celebrity's name because that celebrity was with Diddy and used the example of her doing a costume change to show proof that there's no way they could have been in this particular place if they were doing costume changes and they went to 2 different locations that night and so on and so forth. Just saying that out loud. But hey, everyone's entitled to their opinion and their theories. Let it run amok. But at the same time, I don't think Alex Spiro misspoke or made any mistake on that. Just to be completely real, I just don't see it. Respectfully. Now, because I just don't see him being that messy. I see him being messy, but I don't see him being messy, slipping a person's name out like that, if that makes any sense. All right. But that's not the reason why we're here. And you never know. That name might be the name. It might drop. That might be the person. But I don't think he specifically dropped the name as an accident. He dropped that name to add to the timeline, to show proof that the timeline ain't timelining. It's according to what this Jane Doe said in that NBC interview that obviously blew the lid off of this case. And obviously we're still talking about it to this day. So back over here really quick. Tony Buzbee, of course, has been getting a slew of lawsuits. We just talked about one last night. One of them was, hey, he gave some girl VD. Yeah, I'm not kidding. A lady sitting here saying that she was in a romantic relationship with him. He was he attacked her at one moment in time. He put his hands on her unwarranted, of course, where she chipped her 2 front teeth. And this is all being said in this lawsuit, she says that she was with him in this relationship and he passed a thing to her, allegedly a gift that keeps on giving, that's incurable. You can fill in the blanks there too. She claims that he knew that he had this particular disease, but did not disclose that to her when they were bumping uglies or before they were bumping uglies. He also says, hey, allegedly, this is according to the lawsuit, hey, please don't say anything. If you don't say anything, I'll give you free legal advice, free legal consultation for life. Just don't say anything. So apparently she took that advice. She was getting divorced from her husband. So from what we're understanding as well now, she was having an extramarital affair with Tony Buzbee. They were both cheating on each other's spouses in this relationship. He helped her in her divorce. She alleges that Jane Doe alleges that Tony Buzbee doctored medical records to make it look like he, the husband of this Jane Doe, gave this Jane Doe the gift that keeps on giving when that wasn't actually true, right? So that he can leverage the situation so that she can have a better settlement, divorce settlement from her soon-to-be ex-husband. But that didn't work. That didn't work out. In fact, it made it worse, and her divorce settlement became much less than what she was supposed to get, what she was originally going to get, which was half. So she says, not only did he doctor and mess with medical records, tamper with them to make it look like somebody else gave her this stuff. He broke the law. This is what she basically is saying. And of course, gave her VD and all that stuff, right? All right. Of course, Tony Buzbee says all of this is a bold-faced lie. This is all trash, so on and so forth. Okay, that was last night. During the last few days, Alex Spiro made a motion for dismissal of this particular Jane Doe lawsuit, because what Alex Spiro has been saying, and he's a powerhouse lawyer too, let's be real. He doesn't suck at his job. He's very good at what he does. He says, hey, if the information in this interview does not match the claims that she says in this lawsuit that's written on paper, you need to drop this lawsuit. If there's major inconsistencies in her interview and major inconsistencies that it contradicts everything that she wrote and says in this document, in this lawsuit, then why are we even here, Judge? We need to dismiss this. We need to get rid of it. Shoe fly, don't bother me. It's time to get going. Jay-Z got things to do. He's got better things to do than to deal with this type of situation and deal with a Jane Doe who is lying or who can't get her facts straight. Very, very strong statement from Alex Spiro. Now, Tony Buzbee fires back. And what I think he has to say in the paperwork, in this letter that he writes, I think is massive. And it says a lot. Not only about where he stands and about Jay-Z and some more things that are being said. There's little breadcrumbs little Easter eggs being dropped in this paperwork, in this letter. But he's also showing that, hey, yeah, there's some inconsistencies in what she said, but doesn't mean what she's saying ain't true. It's very interesting. So let's look at this article. We got the paperwork. We're going to get into it here in just a second. Do me a favor, though. All right. Hit the like button down below. Crush that mother lover. All right. Crush it. Hit that subscribe button. And if you haven't hit that notification bell, then please do so. Hit that notification bell, please, and thank you. All right. But subscribe first. You got to subscribe first, all right? Then hit the notification bell. Set it to all so you know whenever I go live, whenever I upload, because it is random, all right? And Mimi, thank you so much for the love on the super sticker and the super chat. Ready Pascal live. Y'all hit the like for Pascal. Exactly. Hit that damn like. Please and thank you. Let's see where we're at, though, real quick, before we get into this paperwork. All right, before we start doing our homework. Yeah, let's get it to 700 likes, if you don't mind. All right. Helps the show, helps us grow, So let's go and get into this legal flow. Hey, bars. It wasn't bars, but you know what I mean. I was just trying to rhyme. Let's get into this, okay? So Tony Buzbee is firing back at Jay-Z, saying the rapper will do anything to intimidate and harass him. And let's be real. The things that he's been getting has been absolutely insane. Now he running around just giving people gifts. You know what I'm saying? He just bumping uglies with people, just giving people the gift that keeps on giving. All right? You know what I mean? Allegedly, Jay-Z and his team is trying to say that he a dirty, dirty dog. You know what I mean? Just the dirty bones. Just dirty. Nasty. Just nasty. But let's get into this. The lawyer and we're not going to read the whole article here, okay? Because we're going to go straight into this, into the paperwork here shortly. So here we go. Yeah. So let's get into this. So the lawyer for numerous Diddy accusers is firing back at Jay-Z and his team's allegations of misconduct, calling their demand for sanctions against him frivolous, and saying the star is just trying to intimidate his client and himself. And from what I'm understanding, other clients and other victims as well. Again, Diddy and Jay-Z ain't friends. Diddy and Diddy's doing the same doggone thing. It's the same doggone thing they doing, guys. Same vibes out here, guys. They're not working in unison? Really? Tony Buzbee filed a response Friday to Jay-Z and his team's recent filing, claiming their justification for having him sanctioned falls on tiny inconsistencies in a person's story from nearly 25 years ago, when the Jane Doe was just a little. Now, let me explain this really quick. See, this is where I have a little bit of the push and pull, where I feel a little bit of that tug because of that interview. I think a lot of us are scratching our heads. And I know some people are standing 10 toes down on she's innocent. She's telling the truth and so on. Some others are standing 10 toes down and saying, no, this woman's lying. But I don't know. That's the problem. That's the issue. And that's the constant tug of war that I have inside my own brain. Because for me, I'm like, but then sure, there's inconsistencies, but there are some other things that, like, big stamps that I've talked to you guys about before that we are going to resurface or circle back and watch again here in just a minute. All right. In just a little bit. I'm telling you, there are inconsistencies that are so palpable that it's causing everybody to be scratching their heads and going, well, who's telling the truth? Is he just covering it up? Did the daddy get paid off? Did NBC get paid off? I'm just asking questions because something just doesn't seem to fit. And now you got Tony Buzbee looking exactly like this right now. Well, I'm sure flabbergasted as well. Whoa, wait a second. You see what I'm saying? We did vet. We did do what we needed to do. Now we do this interview and what? But then at the same time, I feel like, wouldn't he tell his client, hey, do not do that interview? Could there be a reason why he did is there a possibility that he just let his client go out there and speak? That he said, no, go ahead. Say what you need to say, girl. Go ahead, Jane Doe. Say what you need to say. Have you ever thought about that? That maybe he said, no, go ahead. He knows everything. And so he's like, no, go ahead. Do the interview. That's totally fine. I don't know. Like I said, this whole situation with this Jane Doe, there's a lot of questions that I have that still have not been answered yet. Then, of course, it's what she's been saying, how she's responded. Yes, there's inconsistencies, but, this is how I remember it. Okay. Can you tell us a little bit more about what happened then? Can you give us more details? But then I also put in, and this is the other part that throws me off. And it's going to be mentioned in this paperwork, in this letter that we're going to read here in just a second. They talk about the fact that this Jane Doe is special needs, that she's on the spectrum, that she has autism. Also, let's not forget, she also suffered head trauma at some point in her life, either from falling, from a car accident, whatever it may be. She has head trauma on top of being autistic, on top of being special needs. These are all factors that need to be brought into the conversation. So as far as when he says, tiny inconsistencies, I mean, I'm sorry, the only pushback I'll say right now for this moment in this quote right here is tiny. They're not tiny. If the Pops doesn't even say he remembers picking her up during this particular moment in time, which is a massive moment in time, your 13-year-old girl runs off, goes 5 hours away. You drive, you find out that she's 5 hours away. You have to do a 10-hour round trip picking her up and taking her back home. You're not livid Now, daddy could be an absolute a-hole. He could be an absolute jerk off. That's a possibility too. We've discussed this on an earlier show. But at the same time, why wouldn't he stand by his daughter's side and say, yeah, I picked her up? I think that's pretty wild that he didn't say any of that. He said, I don't remember. Yeah, I have I'm busy. I have a busy life, but I feel like I remember that. That's a very telling thing. That's a very telling piece of information. The only other factor I can think of is how old is the dad now? And could he be dealing with some sort of mental decline if he is older? Another thought, another question to put on the table. Could he have dementia? Could he be going through some sort of mental decline in his own right? It's just something to think about. And I know the other part is, could he have just been straight up paid? And shoot, if there are people willing to run around for $10,000 to say that Tony Buzbee gave them the gift that keeps on giving, God knows how much money he got paid to say, I don't know that story. I don't know that story at all. It's just something to think about. It's just so interesting. That's why I keep bouncing back and forth. Because the daddy's that's a big one right there. That is a huge stamp of like, that's a huge dun, dun, dun for me at least. I don't know about you guys, but yes, is that a perfect example of witness tampering? Is it? Then it does make you wonder if he was to be paid, and it doesn't mean that he was paid. We're just saying allegedly. We're just entertaining the idea here, okay? If he was to get paid, how much will you get paid to stab your own daughter in the back? Real talk, think about it. What's that number in your own head? Let me tell you something. There is no number in my head because there's no way I'd be stabbing my own daughter in the back. Are you kidding me? Yes, I hope they die and I hope they burn in hell. You see what I'm saying? You talking about my daughter, though. You talking about my kid, though. So you mean to tell me this guy, let's entertain the idea, is willing to do this for a couple of ducats? That's insane. No dollars on this planet could convince me to go against my own flesh and blood. Baby girl that I still see even when she's older in her 30s, she's still that baby in my hands. You got to be kidding me. So for me, I just don't see that. But money makes people do some crazy ish nowadays. Is that possible? Sure it is, but I still just don't see that being possible. But it's still on the table. That still is on the table. But me, myself, and I know a lot of y'all in the chat are good individuals that would never do something like this. Never. But there are people out there in the world that would go, okay, you said $1 million though? Nope, not going to do that. You said what? How much though? $1 million? Okay, yeah. It's spelled, you know what I mean? My last name is spelled, some people are that crazy and that diabolical. I just don't see it. I just can't wrap my mind around it because we're good people. But that's just alleged. That's just us entertaining that possibility. There has been no confirmation of any payments whatsoever. And if that does get unearthed, then it'll be mind-blowing and the bomb will be dropped. And we will talk about it. But for right now, the father just says he does not remember doing anything of that sort. And we have to take it at face value for at least right now. But I'm telling you right now, that is a big, big piece of it. Because there could be tiny inconsistencies on time, the actual year That's possible. But when you talk about the dad, that's a massive inconsistency. That's not a tiny one. That's massive. Instantly for me, that takes me out. Oh, damn. She may not have the full. Oh, damn. She may not be telling the truth. Or damn, maybe this head trauma played something out in her mind that she believes is true, but isn't true. So just saying, all right, we're entertaining everything on this in this show, every possibility. Hence the reason why this one, this one's killing me, man. This one's killing me. Anyway, Buzbee says that Jay's side, moving on, is trying to use a simple dispute of facts as proof that his client's allegation of R is all BS. And his threat against Buzbee himself is just another instance of bullying. Now, I will say this. I mean, it has been pretty crazy what they've been doing, what's being alleged of doing as of late. Yes, it in the court of public opinion, I truly believe that if Jay-Z is doing what is being alleged of him doing, this is not good, and Jay-Z should think otherwise. I think he should go for another approach or another tactic, because this is not the tactics that make you look like the good guy that everyone has seen you as out here. This does not help your brand. This does not help your look, your rep, etc. Period. It just doesn't. So if you out here harassing, being people are seeing this. And this makes people even more question Jay-Z as a brand, Jay-Z as a person. It all started long ago when his lawyer, Alex Spiro, went in a press conference and said he, Jay-Z, and Diddy ain't friends. As soon as that phrase came out, everybody took 7 steps back. They're like, no, nah, man, you lying now. Nah, why you lying? Homie, why you lying now? That's a bold-faced lie. Hell to the no. Come on now. Miss me with that nonsense. Okay, baby. That's what happened. So right now, more than ever, this is the time to be really diplomatic and really, really calculated on how you move out here in these streets. This is not the time to be out here being tyrannical, being allegedly monstrous, harassing, intimidating. This is not the time. This only solidifies the people who believe you as a monster as such. They're just going to sit there and go, yep, see, boom. Perfect example of him being a monster. See, I told you he was a monster. More and more. And that's not good. No bueno, guys. No bueno. But put succinctly in a letter in Buzbee's filing, the attorney says Jay-Z is just like Diddy, rich and powerful and willing to use any pressure he can to intimidate and harass him, his client, and anyone else who might be able to expose him for alleged misdeeds. You realize that by him saying this, I mean, I'm hoping to the sweet baby Jesus, okay, because we're going to get into the letter itself. I'm hoping to the sweet baby Jesus that Jay-Z is seeing this. He's seeing, I'm sure he's read this or he's watching a YouTube channel, reading this letter. And I'm hoping that he's looking at it and going, oh, snap. You know what? Wow. Now I'm getting compared to Diddy. Nah, we stepping back. Not saying that run away. Ooh, run away. No. I'm not saying coward away. Okay. Like a frail little nymph. I'm not saying that. All I'm saying is this should wake you up. This is not the time to be out here destroying your image even more because you have some sort of vendetta on some lawyer from Houston, Texas. I'm just saying, let your lawyers do what they do. Step back. Let the lawyers do the stuff. Let your guard dogs do the guard dogging. Step back. This is not the time to be compared to Diddy, especially after you said you ain't friends with Diddy. Do you understand? When you out here allegedly having investigators asking questions on behalf of Diddy and yourself, but y'all ain't friends. See what I'm saying? This is not the time to make missteps. This is the time to step back and let your lawyers do their job. Oh, and I would definitely have a conversation with Alex Spiro and say, hey, you spoke out of turn here. Don't answer any of those kind of questions anymore. Now, let's just stick with the facts that we know so far. Get this damn thing dismissed, period. But running around, intimidating, harassing people and all that stuff, and if this stuff is actually 110% true, because right now this is all just allegations, this is not good. How it's being presented to the court of public opinion, not good. So I would hope that this is a moment where he steps back. I don't want to be associated with Diddy. I don't want to be known as the guy who's out here harassing and intimidating people just like Diddy. They'll arrest my ass and then they won't give me bail. Because there'll be a new narrative painted out here making Jay-Z look like he's worse than he actually is, potentially. I'm just saying. Court of public opinion can sway real quick, and then things, allegations, etc., speculations, rumors start to mount up even faster. Just saying. Just saying. But we will see how things progress from this point on, okay? But again, still just, I'm curious. Y'all ain't friends, though. Okay. Y'all ain't friends. Okay, so moving on. We have some paperwork. The actual letter itself from Buzbee law firm to this particular judge, Judge Torres, who is actually making the decision whether or not this case, this lawsuit, is going to see the inside of a courtroom or not. Now, remember, Alex Spiro already wrote a letter, a motion to dismiss this particular lawsuit because he said, hey, the proof, the evidence, the things that this Jane Doe is saying in these interviews, it's not connecting, guys. So if hers are massive inconsistencies and you got Papa out here preaching, saying that he don't know about picking her up 5 hours away from their home, about her going to a VMAs or picking her up at a gas station 5 hours away from their own home in 2000, you need to drop this particular lawsuit. This is a waste of time. Too many inconsistencies, as he said in his motion for dismissal. Tony Buzbee finally filed this. I just read a little bit of a summary from TMZ, but we are going to look at the actual paperwork itself. Okay, so let's rock and freaking roll. Again, guys, don't forget, hit that like button down below. Y'all ain't doing the hitting the like. If you don't mind, hit that like button down below. Let's get it to 800 likes. I'm just going to move it up in 100 likes. Let's get it to 800 likes, please, and thank you. Don't forget to subscribe. We in 154,000 subscribers is amazing. Thank you so much for the love and the support. It really means the world to me, okay? But let's get into this letter. So, dear Judge Torres, by letter motion filed on December 13th, 2024, defendant Sean Carter notified the court of his intention to file a motion to strike and motion for sanctions immediately under Rules 11 and 12. As the defendant Carter's prior letters filed in this case, it is histrionic in tone, but substantively groundless. Defendant Carter threatens plaintiff with a Rule 11 motion based on questions raised by one single television interview concerning events occurring 24 years ago when plaintiff was a little. Defendant Carter also asks the court, or this court, to alter the federal rules of civil procedure in his favor by abrogating the mandatory 21-day Rule 11 safe harbor period without any legal support or factual justification whatsoever. The former is frivolous and the latter is impermissible. Yeah, so they want to speed things up, okay? They want to turn this from a mandatory 21-day Rule 11 to basically they want to shorten it all the way down, okay? They want these things done quickly. And of course, that's ridiculous. And of course, Buzbee is absolutely in the right to say that. Let's be completely real. So defendant Carter's threat of a Rule 11 motion is frivolous because it characterizes run-of-the-mill disputes of fact as proof. So run-of-the-mill disputes of fact as proof. So they're sitting there going like, hey, her inconsistencies are off. That shows proof that she ain't a Jane Doe. She shouldn't even have filed a lawsuit. So hey, we win. Okay, have a great night, guys. The show's over. My name's Pascal. Bye. No, that's not the case here. That's not the case. That's what he's saying is no. That's wrong for you to sit there and go, oh yeah, these run of the mill. He's saying what these inconsistencies are innocent in a way. That's what he's basically saying. And Jay-Z is going, well, see, she lied. I'm free. I didn't do nothing wrong. That's the show, guys. See you later. Have a great night. Don't forget to hit that like button down below and all that. You see what I'm saying? And he's like, no, that's wrong. That's wrong. Those are innocent, run-of-the-mill disputes. They're innocent mistakes that they're riding on. They have no weight. So he's saying it's baseless, what they're saying. All right. None of the factual issues Carter identifies are sufficient even to grant summary judgment in Carter's favor, much less support Rule 11 sanctions. The fact that the defendant or a potential witness does not agree with or collect the facts alleged in the complaint does not and cannot give rise to a motion for sanctions for filing a baseless complaint. Defendant Carter's threat of an immediate sanctions motion on the first whisper of factual uncertainty is just one more instance of bullying intended to have a chilling effect on plaintiff's counsel, and any potential plaintiffs watching these proceedings. Now, what's interesting about this is this part too. Not only is he saying, yes, they're intimidating, they are harassing, they're giving, for lack of a better term, they're giving plaintiff a hard time, and they're giving Tony Buzbee a hard time. But the other part they said, any potential plaintiffs watching these proceedings. What does that mean? What do you think that means, everybody? Follow the bouncing ball. This means that there is more plaintiffs coming. There are more lawsuits coming for Jay-Z. That's in black and white. More plaintiffs are indeed coming. We already know that there's a male accuser, allegedly, that's supposed to be coming forward with their lawsuit, with Jay-Z tacked into that lawsuit as well. A male accuser. We already knew about that before. But Tony Buzbee's even saying here, any potential plaintiffs. So there's more than just one that's watching these proceedings that wants to step forward and file against Jay-Z. Very interesting, though, guys. Don't you think? Let's move on. Now, again, this is what Tony Buzbee's saying in his letter to the judge. And he's saying, hey, do not Please don't you dare drop this or dismiss this, put sanctions on this or anything like that. Please do not do that. Just because she has a few things off does not mean her story is not true. Forget what NBC said. Forget what the NBC News interview. Look at the information that was in that lawsuit. Period. Let's continue on. A Rule 11 motion is frivolous on the additional ground that expecting a victim of SA over 2 decades ago, when that victim was a minor, and as her interview revealed, also autistic. These are all important pieces of information here, guys. To have perfect recall of all facts is outrageous. Let me repeat that again. Again, this motion, them trying to get this out of here, get this done, wrapping this up, dismissing this particular lawsuit is frivolous on the additional ground that expecting a victim of SA over 2 decades ago, 2 decades ago, when that victim was a little, and as her interview revealed, she is also on the spectrum. She is also special needs. She is autistic. To have a perfect recall of all facts is outrageous. Now, I will say this. I do agree with that part. We can even put out the fact that she's special needs. We could put that off on the side for a second. Yes, it'll be very tough 2 decades later to remember everything, every single nuanced thing. Absolutely. But you're going to definitely remember who attacked you, what their name is, especially if it's a huge name like a Jay-Z or a Diddy or anybody else that was in that room. You're going to remember those people's names. You may not remember every single nuanced thing that happened in that room, but you're going to remember a good chunk of it. Yes, some things might alter in your mind. Instead of him wearing a red shirt, he was wearing a white shirt. Instead of him wearing a black jeans, he was wearing blue jeans. Like anything's possible, right? Because I mean, it's 2 decades. It's 2 whole decades. It's 24 years ago. That's a long time. That is true. But then now you throw in the fact that she is autistic, and let's not forget, sprinkles on top, she did also suffer a head injury. You add those things together, yes, facts could be a little off. Facts could be a little off kilter. Just saying. Now, moving on. Defendant Carter twists the plaintiff's words when he accuses her, for instance, of quote unquote guessing at the timing of events alleged in the complaint, such as the length of car rides. Yeah, sure. Something like that might change. Like, it's the whole thing of the story of the big fish story, right? At first, the fish is this big, and then over time, the fish just gets bigger and bigger as the story continues, as years and time goes on. That is possible. So for her to sit there and go, "Oh yeah, it was a 20-minute ride," maybe it could have been an hour ride. Maybe she doesn't remember that. You see what I'm saying? I mean, those are very specific facts that could be exaggerated or cut down. That's possible. That is possible. But New York courts have expressly acknowledged that plaintiffs in this type of case cannot be expected to have exacting recall and command of all relevant facts. Very interesting. Moving on. There is no basis for a Rule 11 motion here, and if filed, such a motion would itself be subject to a Rule 11 motion in response. Of course, we cannot prevent Defendant Carter from wasting the resources of this court and all parties in pursuing one. However, Defendant Carter's request that the court, quote unquote, shorten the filing deadline for his threatened Rule 11 motion from 21 days to 1 day is entirely improper. That is insane. I will say that. Carter fails to cite any precedent whatsoever to support this astonishing request because there is none. Carter also fails to cite any reason why the federal rules of civil procedure should be abrogated in his favor in this particular case. Again, there is none. The 21-day safe harbor rule under Rule 11 exists to provide parties and counsel time to assess the objections being made and to withdraw or modify a pleading or other paper if necessary. Blah, blah, blah. The safe harbor period has been recognized by the Second Circuit as a quote unquote strict procedural requirement. It cannot be shortened here because Mr. Carter and his counsel quote unquote request as such, whether in an attempt to play gotcha or an exert additional pressure on plaintiff or for any other reason. Yeah, because they want him to basically say, yeah, drop this, throw this out, get rid of this because we done. It's time to move on. Get all this stuff out of here. We done. We done talking about this stuff. We need to move on, right? She's not telling the truth. There's inconsistencies. See, judge, see, inconsistencies. Throw it out. You should throw it out. You should be throwing it out, right? Because there's nothing to talk about. She wrong. She got it all wrong. She can't even talk about this. She can't even get her facts straight. Look, see, it's all lies. But by them trying to speed up this decision, doesn't help. It's not a good move. 'Tis not. Moving on. They should let it ride. Let it do what it do. But I get it. Okay, I get it to a certain extent. Let me just say this too really quick because, you know, we sit on the fence, but we bounce back and forth on both sides of the fence. Let's talk about this. I get it. If you were being falsely accused, let's just say on the side of he's innocent. If you are being falsely accused of something, you out here abiding by the rules, you are a family man, you are happy, you minding your own damn business. You didn't do any of this crime. I'm saying you didn't do anything. We're just entertaining that thought for a second. This type of stain on your record, this type of stain on your name would drive any person insane. So yes, I get it that he would want this stuff to be expedited quickly. Let's get this stuff out. Let's get this stuff out of here. Because as soon as it's dismissed, the court of public opinion is going to see that I'm innocent and I didn't do any of this. And that this particular Jane Doe is just a bold-faced liar. And everyone will see that. So let's expedite this. Make these decisions quickly so I can have my name back. Because right now, my name is getting dragged through the streets right now. I can see that. I can see that desire. But by doing this act looks desperate, looks messy. It's not good, guys. So from the outset, Defendant Carter and his counsel have shrilly maintained an entitlement to different rules and faster procedures, from expedited briefing on the issue of anonymity and the summary dismissal of plaintiff's complaint to now a wholesale elimination of the 21-day safe harbor rule under Rule 11. In each instance, the goal has been to blur the facts and rush a decision. He's got a good point here. Buzbee does have a good point here. But there is aggressive advocacy, and then there is bad faith. Mr. Carter's latest tactics, much like his open threat to refer plaintiff's attorneys for disciplinary action, cross that line. Moreover, outside of the courtroom, Mr. Carter has employed tactics of intimidation and harassment, even more extreme, tortuous, and quite possibly illegal. My firm recently filed a lawsuit in Harris County, Texas, that details how Mr. Carter's company, Rock Nation, and his counsel have bribed my clients to file lawsuits against my firm, threatened former clients, impersonated state officials, and engaged in other behavior far beyond the pale of acceptable conduct. Their tactics won't work, and they will be addressed in more detail in connection with the parties' briefing on plaintiff's anonymity. Now, again, all of this, the fact that he's throwing in there like, hey, not only are we trying to slow things down because he wants to expedite things quickly, he's also saying, hey, just because he's got money, just because he's got influence and all that does not mean that he's an exception to the rule. He needs to go through the same procedures as anybody else. Also, on top of that, the fact that he is also strong-arming people, strong-arming and harassing and other people like him, his client, himself, like Buzbee and other people in the law firm. He's like, I already filed this stuff out. You're going to see this here soon. It's bad. Mr. Combs, like Diddy, Mr. Carter's rich, famous, and powerful. Mr. Carter will exert all the pressure he can to intimidate and harass plaintiff, me, or anyone else. The chilling effect of those efforts is substantial and is the potential chilling effect of a Rule 11 motion being brought in these circumstances. But ultimately, in our court system, the rules are the same for Mr. Carter and for the plaintiff here. And the Rule 11 safe harbor cannot be abrogated on his whim. Finally, Defendant Carter raises the status of my admission in the Southern District of New York. As with his previous letters to this court, his December 13th letter includes a substantial amount of defamatory suggestions about me, including that I am somehow attempting to, quote unquote, circumvent the authority of this court to enforce Rule 11 against me. That is nonsense. I'm a member of the State Bar of New York, and I am admitted to the Eastern District of New York. I intend to apply for reciprocal admission to the Southern District. The fact that I have signed pleadings and letters filed in this court does not reflect any attempt by me to, quote unquote, evade responsibility for anything. To the contrary, I have signed those pleadings and papers because I am lead counsel in this and other similar cases pending in this district. And of course, respectfully, Tony Buzbee. Now, the fact that he's sitting here saying like, yo, they're trying to make it seem like I shouldn't even be practicing law in this state. The fact that they're saying that I'm just one big old fraud. It's like, no, I have the right. I have worked my balls off to be able to practice law in the state of New York. I have been working my butt off to do what I do to this day. The allegations and the statements that are being made in previous letters are absolutely ridiculous at best. And he's like, no, all these things that are being said about me is wrong. And it does seem a bit desperate. It does. It seems like, again, it's low blows between Jay-Z and Tony Buzbee. Or at least in this situation, it's not Jay-Z, it's Jay-Z's lawyer and Tony Buzbee. And they're just going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Again, this is another thing that we're just dealing with another thing. But I also feel that this one is more important because he's standing for his client. He is standing for this alleged victim that is stepping forward and saying, hey, I'm getting thrown in this mix, but I will also say My client is special needs. Yeah, there's inconsistencies in what she said, but she has special needs. She suffered head trauma. Just because there's inconsistencies in her story does not mean that it is not true. And they, in this particular lawsuit, should be held accountable, should be looked at. Do not dismiss this and do not spearhead this. Do not expedite this quickly. Take your time. Think about it. Put this thing together so that we can keep moving with this particular trial and so that this woman can get justice, period. But like I said, I mean, court of public opinion is probably looking at this and going, this is not so great. How Jay-Z's team is moving in these streets. It's not helpful. It's not helping. It's not making the situation any better. It's looking sloppy. It's looking really, really sloppy. So I still do want to talk about this one piece here. I just got to roll it back one more time because there's something about this that just doesn't feel, it just doesn't feel 100%. It just doesn't. Now, again, I know that there's a lot of people that are on the side of she's telling the truth. There's a lot of people on the other side that are saying she's a liar. I sit on the fence. There are moments where I sway and go, yeah, she could be telling the truth. And then there's other times where I'm like, no, these inconsistencies are pretty big. I have to say, the one main pushback on this letter that Tony Buzbee put out, the major pushback is that he says these are tiny inconsistencies. No, they're pretty big inconsistencies. If you don't have Papa to even back you up on this, that's a big deal. I get it that, okay, 20 minutes could actually be 40 minutes. 20 minutes could actually have been an hour. She may have been so excited that time flew during that moment. I'm about to meet Jay-Z. I'm about to be in a room full of superstars. I can't wait. Maybe that hour drive turned into 20 minutes in her mind because she was just so hyped. Then you also got to remember, she is autistic. So maybe her concept of time is different. I don't know. I can't speak on her behalf because I do not know where she sits on the spectrum, with all due respect. Okay? But it does tell me some things that just don't seem to make sense. She also, as according to Alex Spiro, she snuck out of her home at least by 3:00 in the afternoon, and then snuck out, climbed out of her window, jumped in a car with a friend who happens to be gone. They happen to be unalive now. They're no longer with us anymore, and drove for 5 hours to go to the Radio City Music Hall for a chance to get inside this event. Now, what's interesting about this, too, is those events are massive. This is the only pushback I say on this, too. She went down there and she gets picked out by thousands of people. Plenty of people are outside. You got MTV out there, obviously filming everything. The streets are packed with people. There are events going on inside and all that. You know what I mean? So you're telling me she was out there and she was the only one that was picked out by a limo driver? It just seems a bit weird. Just saying. I'm not saying that's not true, but it seems a bit off. Not saying that it's not true. Just asking the questions. But here's the thing that really drives me crazy. We got to look at it one more again because I don't know. Taking a trip down memory lane, it just kills me. Okay. It just kills me, but we need to take a look at this. Don't forget to hit that like button down below, please, and thank you. Crush it, crush it, crush it. Hit that like button down below. Don't forget to subscribe. Okay? Yes. Wait. Whoops. Fernando. Yeah. See, I would think that would be very difficult for you to actually walk up to a limo driver right there. You know, if she left at 5 or she left at 3 and it was a 5-hour drive and she got there at 8, I mean, it's packed. How would you be able to, you know what I mean? I'm just asking the questions. And I've seen some things. I've seen events in New York City, and you're literally going, wow. So where's the red car? Oh, it's all the way down there. It's 3-4 blocks away from where I'm standing right now. I can't see not nobody. This person, is that Jay-Z? I don't see him. Oh, you mean that guy right there? He's the size of an ant from where I'm standing. I can't see you. I can't see you. So it does make you wonder, how is she able to have a conversation with the limo driver? So like I said, I'm just curious about it. I'm just curious. But let's take a listen to this, because again, this is the stuff that's just destroying me. Let's take a listen.
He at that point, I was fighting, trying to get away from him, and he put his hand over my mouth and told me to stop it.
As she ran to a gas station where she called her father, who picked her up and drove her home.
We rode home in silence. He didn't ask me what happened. He didn't ask me what I did or where I was.
In an interview with NBC News, her father said he could not verify the claims. Quote, "I felt like I would remember that, and I don't. I have a lot going on, but I mean, that's something that would definitely stick in my mind," he said.
So Papa came out and said, nah, I don't remember any of this. Yeah, I got a lot going on, but shoot, I don't remember this. This is something that would definitely stick out of my mind. Again, he had an opportunity. He had one job. He had one job, which was to stand by his daughter. And he didn't do that. That's massive. Now, you guys could sit there and ask or, speculate, oh, he got paid off, or he's a piece of trash dad, or anything of that sort. What if he's not a piece of trash dad? What if he was just like, I have no idea what you're talking about? What if he doesn't know everything that's going on? What if he just randomly got a phone call from the people of NBC News and he's like, wait, what are you talking about? No. Wait, no. Yeah, I mean, I got a lot going on, but I mean, I feel like I would remember that for sure. But then at the same time, he could be a trashy dad. He also could have Alzheimer's. He could have Parkinson's. He could have some sort of mental, his mind, he could be going through some sort of mentally degenerative disease that's messing with his mind, messing with his memory as well. That's possible too. He could also be on substances as well. Anything's possible, right? And he's like, I don't remember any of that. What are you talking about? I don't remember that at all. All I remember is I turned into a unicorn and flew over a field filled with cotton candy. And they're like, okay, thank you so much, sir. Bye. Click. That's possible. But did they say that in this interview? In this video? Hell no. They did not. They did not. So, something to think about. I want to go back here too. Right here. Roll back a little bit more.
The night of the 2000s VMAs, she says a friend drove her from Rochester, New York to Manhattan, a more than 5-hour drive. Her attorney provided NBC News with the name of the friend who has since died. The woman says she spoke to Combs's limo driver who offered her a ride to an after party.
I stumbled upon Diddy's driver, who told me that I was exactly what Diddy was looking for.
What did you think when he said that to you?
I thought it meant that I was just pretty.
Okay. You heard that, right? I'm rolling that just a bit back. Hold on.
Her attorney provided NBC News with the name of the 5-hour drive. Her attorney provided NBC News with the name of the friend who has since died. The woman.
Again, let me make this abundantly clear. This attorney, Tony Buzbee, knew that she was having this interview. He knew, and he let it go. He let it happen. You really think that this lawyer is going to turn to his to NBC News or turn to his client and say, "Yeah, go ahead. Even though there's holes in your story, go ahead, sweetheart. Go ahead. Destroy your whole case, your whole lawsuit by going on this show." He knew. In fact, he provided information on the person who actually drove her to the awards ceremony, and that person is no longer alive. So he knew about this. And I wonder why he let this happen. What was the reason? What was his doing letting this happen? Is it solely because she's special needs and that she has head trauma? Makes you wonder.
Woman says she spoke to Combs's limo driver who offered her a ride to an after party.
I stumbled upon Diddy's driver, who told me that I was exactly what Diddy was looking for.
What did you think when he said that to you?
I thought it meant that I was just pretty.
She went to a
Another problem here, right freaking here.
White House, she says, where she spoke to musicians Benji Madden and his brother.
I'm talking to Benji Madden about his tattoo because, I have about his tattoo that's the Last Supper because I have a religious background. So it was just something to talk about.
In a statement to NBC News, a representative of the Maddens confirmed that they did not attend the 2000 VMAs and that they were on tour in the Midwest at the time.
That's a big deal, too. Now, let me say this, too. There's still a good, strong possibility that she had the wrong year. I know there's been other places, other channels that have mentioned that she could have the wrong year. That's a possibility, too. But I'd feel like at some point she would have said, "Hey, I'm sorry, it was 2003. No, I'm sorry, it was 2007. No, it's 2001. But she doesn't say that, which is crucial, especially when she is making these claims. Because if it was 2003 and she's talking about 2000, don't you see how Alex Spiro, Jay-Z's team, would be doing cartwheels right now? You talking 2000? Oh, okay. We got proof. Hold up. No. You said your piece. Hold up. I got this PowerPoint presentation and I want to show you proof positive, as you can see here on this Jumbotron, that your timeline, if it is indeed 2000, is absolutely wrong. Don't you see that? 2000, it's wrong. Case dismissed. That's literally what happened. They're like, "Oh, snap. Well, there was no Jumbotron. What are you talking about? There was no Jumbotron in 2000. You got it wrong, baby. Don't you see? It is wrong." So therefore, after all of this work, can't you see? The timeline ain't timelining. Tell me, am I wrong or am I wrong? Now dismiss this, judge, because she was wrong. It was in 2000. He wasn't there. You know what I mean? And here's the thing. The year is a massive deal. The year is a massive deal. Let's be real. If it was 2001, 2002, 2003, 2004, shoot, let's just tack on 2005. Within those 5 years, maybe the Maddens of Good Charlotte went to one of those VMAs and they weren't on tour at that time. There's still a possibility of that. Maybe there was a party at a big White House with a U-shaped driveway out there on another year where Jay-Z, Diddy, and a whole bunch of other people were in the same place at the same time. That's still a possibility, but she has not changed her year yet. She has not changed her year yet. Not at all. She says, yes, there are inconsistencies in what I said. And it's like, and What are they? Where are the inconsistencies? Tell us where they at. But she's not saying that. Instead of her saying, she doesn't say, oh, actually it was 2001 and not 2000. I'm sorry. I have the wrong year. And I got I got a photo of that particular year that, that I was wearing this outfit and blah, 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 whatever it may be. But she doesn't say that. She just says there's inconsistencies. And now you got Spyro and Jay-Z's team. In fact, even Diddy's team, I'm sure, because they're probably all working together. You know what I mean? Even though they say they ain't friends. They're all doing cartwheels over the fact that 2000 is the year that she's talking about. And then you have Good Charlotte saying they weren't there. They were busy on tour in the Midwest, playing Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous in cornfields. Literally. So that's the issue. That is a big problem. And if she was to just come in and say, boom, it was 2003, or boom, it was 2007, whatever, it'd be a completely different talk. And then it would be Spyro and the other lawyers that are working for tirelessly around the clock for Diddy and Jay-Z. They all be like, oh, damn. Well, back to the drawing board. There's something here that I want to play here too. I said it earlier. I just said it a second ago, but I want to hear it from the horse's mouth because there's something. It's just interesting. It's after the dad saying, I have a lot going on, but I mean, there's something that would definitely stick in my mind.
Lot going on, but I mean, that's something that would definitely stick in my mind, he said. When we asked the woman about the contradictions in a phone interview on Friday, she said that she stands by her statements. I have made some mistakes, she said. Honestly, what is the clearest is what happened to me. The inconsistencies in her account of an incident alleged to have happened 24 years ago does not necessarily mean the allegations are false. The accuser's attorney, Tony Buzbee, said, because we have interrogated her intensely, she has even agreed to submit to a polygraph. This has been extremely distressing for her to the point she has experienced seizures and had to seek medical treatment due to the stress. In a statement to NBC News, Sean Carter said, this incident didn't happen, and yet he filed it in court and doubled down in the press. True justice is coming. We fight from victory, not for victory.
Is any part of you scared coming out against such powerful people?
Yeah, I'm scared of what could happen, but I'm more afraid of letting it eat me alive from the inside out than I am of, being chastised by their fans.
What I find very interesting about this too is what she just said there. That she's sitting here saying like, hey, I'm scared of getting chastised by fans, by etc. But I need to step forward and speak out. I need to say this. And I know we've dealt with some people who have acted as victims and they weren't and all that. And that's a whole other conversation in itself. But there's something about somebody who says, hey, I want and I felt the need to step forward now that I feel has a lot of weight. That doesn't mean that she is telling the truth, but it does make you step back a little bit. You know what I mean? And that's the thing. Buzbee knew about this interview. He knew. This is not like she just went and did this all willy-nilly. I believe he knew about this about this interview. He may not have known that it was going to go this way, but he knew that this interview was going down. That's what I truly believe. But let's continue on. There's a statement. I thought it was later, but maybe it's earlier. I have to find it. But let's play a little bit more.
All right, Chloe Malone.
Okay, so that's not it. It's somewhere here. It's something about inconsistencies. Let me just play that again.
In mind, he said, when we asked the...
By the way, this is the dirtiest mother-loving phone I have ever seen. Look at that crust. Look at that dust. Look at that is the nasty. Why would you shoot it like you know what I'm saying? Get a little wet nap. You know what I'm saying? A moist towelette. Spray some Windex on that mug. Like the hell's wrong with you? Okay, moving on. That's just nasty. That's how you get COVID.
Woman about the contradictions in a phone interview on Friday. She said that she
There it
stands by her statements. I have made some mistakes, she said.
That's what it is.
Honestly, what is the clearest is what happened to me.
Okay. So she says, what is the clearest is what happened to me. Okay. So can you repeat what you said then? And give us a clear breakdown of what happened to you in a full statement? Because it feels like maybe this wasn't a full statement. I don't know. But it feels like where's the statement, man? What is the clearest is what happened to me. What is it then? Why, like that? Yes, there are inconsistencies. So then what are those inconsistencies? Can you clarify those things really quick? Or what is the stuff that is the clearest to you? What happened to you in this room? And that's it? What are the consistent parts that make sense? That are the clearest to you? Let's talk about that first. You know? Because something about that just doesn't seem, like I said, the math ain't mathin', baby. To me, the math ain't mathin', but we gonna talk about that. All right. Mimi, thank you so much for the super sticker. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Rianne, thank you so much. Thank you so much. And also, Nikki, thank you so much for gifting. All y'all together, 6 new members. Welcome to all 6 of y'all. Those 2 individuals just gave you some positive love, some positivity. All I ask for you to do is pay it forward, okay? Open the door for somebody, buy somebody a cup of coffee. Hey, call somebody up that you haven't talked to in a long time and just wish them happy holidays. You know, just do some positivity work out here. We need a lot more positivity in the world. We got a lot of craziness that's going on, a lot of evildoers. It's time to change that trajectory to something more positive. Let's start off 2025 in the most positive way we can, right? Viwi, thank you so much for the super sticker. I really do appreciate it. Fly Gal, thank you so much for being a member for the past 8 months. I appreciate it. Happy holidays and happy new year to you too. Thank you so much. We're already doing that. I don't have my watch on. I guess that is the time. What is it? It is the 20th. I totally forgot. Diggity damn. Yeah, this is the time where people are gonna be going crazy. This is when people start driving crazy in the streets too, guys. So be careful. And I'm not talking about the drunk drivers. You know, be careful with them too. But this is the time when they're gonna be people driving crazy just because they're just trying to get to the mall. So because they're rushing around trying to do last minute shopping. So don't be like them. Get the shopping done early. You'll thank me later. If you haven't done it already, then it's already too late. You're screwed. Oh, you're screwed. But still, be safe out there because people are going to be driving crazy. All right. And yeah, lock your doors. All right. Keep safe. It's snowing where you at? Where you at, sailor? Where you at? Snowing there. Where's that? Sheeson said, Pascal, how did she describe a house Diddy had in 2003 that he sold in 2004 that most people don't know about? Say what? Damn, I didn't know that either. That's news to me. That is news to me. I'm wondering if Tony Buzbee knows that information and if it's factual. I'm hoping that he's doing his due diligence for show. He better be doing his due diligence because this is not the time to just be, you know what I mean? especially that these allegations and everyone's side-eyeing him, not only just him, but his client big time. This is the time, real time, to be on your P's and Q's and coming in with receipts going, no, he did own one for a year, and it was during this year. I would like to see I want to see the facts. Okay. Lashonda just said, it is factual. I'd like to see the Carfax on that. I want to see the Carfax on that. It was in Jersey. Oh, wow. It was in Jersey. Wow. Well, that's something. That's something. Okay. Wait, wow. Someone deliberately rammed their car into a crowd in Germany at a Christmas market. One unalive, 50 to 80 people injured. Oh my God. I'm praying for them. That's terrible. That's terrible. Yep. Couldn't get a statement to be on that side, lazy. You know what I mean? Or LAYZ, lazy. Yeah. Like I said, I'm not sitting here. I'm not canceling this woman out. I'm not. But there are a lot of inconsistencies that I believe that are not just tiny. I believe that there are big inconsistencies, but that doesn't automatically mean that she's lying. It doesn't. It means that there needs to be more investigation into her case and finding out what is really true and what is not. Also, not saying that this is going to be, that this adds more merit to it, but I would appreciate a polygraph test. I think a polygraph test would be extremely helpful as well in this situation as well. Just a thought, And of course, there's going to be more going on. We're going to be finding out more information here very, very soon. You know what I mean? But yeah, this is. Yeah, it's sad, guys. The whole thing is sad. But guys, that is the show. I appreciate all y'all for being here. It really means a lot. Do me a favor. Do me a favor. I agree with that beautiful disaster. I do. I don't think he would just take any random, you know what I mean? I don't know. It's crazy. Caprice, pull up Tony Instagram. I sent it to you. Explain. Oh, well, I'm going to have to do that. Let me see here something. Let me look at something here real quick. No, I don't have it. I might have to just do this when I get back. So do me a favor, guys. Caprice, I might have to look at that later. All right. But I appreciate the super chat. All right. Gotta hop off. But please do me a favor. Hit that like button down below. Crush it. Hit that reaction button if you're watching on those platforms. Make sure you hit that follow button on those other platforms. Make sure you subscribe here on my main channel. Go to my secondary channel. Crush that subscribe button over there as well. That'd be greatly appreciated. If you want to support the channel, hit that join button down below. Hit that join button and check out my Patreon and my locals. Go check out PascalMerch.com. And yeah, guys, it is time to get going. Okay, I gotta hop off, but we'll be talking here very, very soon. All right, have a safe one. I'll be seeing you guys soon. All right, I'm gonna try to come back here soon, Kelly. It may be late tonight, but hopefully I'll be back on soon. There's a lot of stuff going on. Okay, I gotta get going, guys. Talk to you soon. Be good to yourselves. Be good to one another. We'll talk soon. This is the Pascal Show. Bye.